Good morning, my magnificent ones. Sue here, your magnificence mentor. The focus today is all about play. So I want us to explore the idea of harnessing the power of play. So I brought some props with me. So this is Betsy. She's my little lamb. So she's somebody I can play with and cuddle with and hug and have some fun with. And when my granddaughters come over, oh boy, Betsy gets lots of time to play with them. And of course, the whole play thing wouldn't be complete without Buddy Bear. You can see he has a big heart on his foot. So the girls love him. And so when any kids come to my house to play, they get to play with my two bears. So they're joining us today. All right. So play. We don't realize how much our world is infused with the idea of play. So everything has a play button, right? So on your remote control, play, you push play to play a video or play a game or play something on TV or whatever. So we're surrounded by play. But as adults, I think we get far too serious in our lives. And oh, life is, now that I'm all grown up, I need to be serious about life. And oh, work is stressful and this is hard, and managing my household and managing my bills and trying to manage my kids. Oh, it's all so stressful, and who has time to play? Well, we do. If we make time, if we decide that play is an integral part of our lives, and really it is. So all we need to do is look at kids, and we go into that growth phase from the time we're tiny babies and start playing with our hands and wondering, well, what is that, and how does that work? And then as our world opens up, we start touching and tasting and smelling, and we use our voice. We play with our voices to say, oh, what was that noise? And then and all these sounds come out, and ooh, and we Google a certain way, and our parents go, oh, look at that, and they're so excited, and so we try it again. And so that's how we learn when we first come to planet Earth, is we learn through play. We learn through exploring. And we don't know what the end result is going to be, because nothing is understandable to us. And so we explore, we discover, we learn, and we grow from that. So play is the way that all of us make sense of our world from the time we're tiny. And it's interesting that when we look at play, if we're engaged in something and somebody says, well, you want to play a game, and you're little, right? And you say, yeah, sure, because we're always up for play when we're little. Okay, here's the game. And usually there's some kind of structure around it of, well, what are the rules of the game? Well, here are the rules of the game. And so then the kids just go after it. And if they really like the game, they play endlessly in it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until one of them says, no, I don't want to play that anymore. So then they play something else. Well, what they don't know at the time is they're learning all kinds of things about just playing. So just from that play, they come away with a new understanding or a new sense of, well, I really like that game, or no, I didn't really like that game so much. That's not my thing. So let's use hockey as an example, because I'm from the land of hockey, the land of ice and snow, and we have a team here in Edmonton called the Edmonton Oilers, and in my younger days, Wayne Gretzky was our hero, because he was on our team and took our team to the Stanley Cup at least twice and maybe more than that. You hockey fans would know better than I know. Anyway, my grandmother was fascinated with Wayne Gretzky. She loved him. Well, when you look at his history on how he got to be a hockey player, he learned how to play hockey out on the wilds of Ontario on a rink somewhere. And he just got intrigued with the game, and because he loved the game so much, so all the play that he did as a youngster turned into a passion for him. And he was so passionate about the game. He loved it so much, and that he played it a lot. And the play led to this passion, which led to practice. So for him, becoming as skillful as he possibly could was part of his desire, part of his passion in moving forward with the game we call hockey. And what happened as a result of that? Well, he happened to be talented enough. He was talented enough. He was skilled enough. He loved the game enough that it became his vocation. It became his job, and he got a job playing hockey. See the word play. And so he ended up putting on performance after performance after performance that was just stellar. Well, why? Because he loved it, because he started by playing, and it sparked something in him that became such a driving force, such a passion for him. Well, we all have the same thing. Now, I'm certainly not going to play hockey because that's not my idea of a good time. I did learn to skate, but I'd rather skate to the waltz of the Blue Danube than I would play hockey. So, but what I found early on is that I love to play with words. And I can play with words in a variety of ways. Lots of times when I play with words, it just gives me such a giggle. So I learned to play more and more with words. And then it didn't seem like I was that passionate about it, except I was passionate about it that I started writing. And when I started writing, eventually I started speaking. And it has become such a part of me now that while I play with words, now I get to play with you. I get to play with Tiwa Sue. So it has grown, and I've practiced my skills and got better and better at it. And I realize I still have more to play with, that it just builds on itself. So if you're thinking of play as well, that just interferes with work, then think again, because it's an integral part of how we develop into something that might be a career, or something that we can work at that serves us in some way. So when I talk to accountants and I ask them, so what is it that led you to this career? And invariably they say, well, I love numbers. I love to play with numbers. I love the way they organize themselves, and I love the answers that come up. I love the challenges and the puzzles of all of that. Well, hey, so what happens? Well, they become accountants. They enjoy going to work every day, right? Because they get to play with numbers. So it's such an ingrown part of us. Now, so that's one aspect of play that I wanted to talk about today. The other aspect that I want to talk about is the idea of inserting into your day time to play. Why would we do that, in addition to what benefits we might get from learning something new and adding something meaningful to our lives or whatever? Well, because it's a stress relief. Let's face it, there's lots going on in our worlds these days, our personal worlds as well as the world out there, that's causing our stress levels to go through the roof. Last week, I was on my way to the doctor's office, and the roads were icy, and it was really cold, and I didn't like it. I was kind of white knuckling the whole way. And I get there, and of course they take my blood pressure. Well, my blood pressure has gone sky high, and I'm going, what the heck? And I realized it was because I tensed up with the drive there. So, well, what's the antidote? Because I need to do something to drop this down. Well, play is a perfect way of relieving that stress, of calming ourselves down, giving us a different focus. So one of my tools that's in my house, this I blew up on New Year's Day, is of course the all fun balloon. My granddaughters were over, and I had put balloons in their Christmas socks. And so, of course, we blew up 3 of them. Well, everybody, the whole family was batting them around, and the girls were laughing and giggling, and just they were having an uproariously good time. Well, not only were they having a good time, we were having a good time, because I'm batting them back and forth with the girls, and everybody else in the room, whoever was close to a balloon would bat it down, and so on. And it would be just hilarious. And then after a while, everybody got tired of that, and so they went in the corner. But then a little while later, we picked them up again. So it's great exercise too, if you if you haven't played with a balloon for a long time. You can bat it around the room, and it gives you a full body workout, and you're reaching and having a good laugh at the time, because balloons are unpredictable. You never know where they're going to go once you hit them, because of the lack of much weight and so on. So I'm a huge fan of balloons. So I'm happy that it was too cold for the girls to take them home all blown up, because now I have balloons to play with in my house. And of course, the next time they come, we're going to have some more fun with balloons. So what is it that you can do in your life that adds that element of play, that adds that element of fun? Now, you might want to not want to get that active in relation to, lots of up and about stuff. However, when was the last time you played with a paintbrush and played with a canvas or a piece of paper? Remember those watercolors that we used to use as kids? Because that was the easiest cleanup, right? Like mom wasn't going to let us near a can of paint without knowing what to do. But a watercolor and little watercolor palettes and some water with a brush and some paper, no problem. That was an easy cleanup and an easy solution. So we played with them, not even thinking about the benefit or what could become of that, except that some kids discovered their artistic abilities. Some kids realized that they could do certain things with the colors and with the combination of colors and the lack of water or more water, what that would look like on the page and the paper, and then got passionate about color and what it could do as a medium, what it could do to grace somebody's wall or whatever. And of course, as a result, we have paintings on our walls because somebody found their passion for that and then kept practicing and kept practicing, and the result were some stellar canvases that really light people up. So I have a standing play date now with friends in Mexico who love to paint. And so we have a lesson. My friend has a series of lessons that she's taking us through. So each week we bring our tea, we have our paints, we have the focus of the day and our canvases, and we just spend an hour just enjoying each other's company, enjoying the colors on the canvas. So there's a myriad of ways that you can get engaged with play. It's a mindset when I think about it, because we have got out of the habit of thinking about play as a really important part of not only our lives, but our well-being. That on a day-to-day basis, it contributes to our wellness in a way that we might not have remembered. So you watch kids, do they have trouble sleeping at night? Not usually, because they've done so much playing during the day that they're physically exhausted, their minds are worn out, and off to sleep they go. If you've ever played on the ski slopes, you know that shooshing down the mountain and then back up and then shooshing down again takes lots of energy. And by the end of the day, well, I'm always ready for the hot tub at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you sleep soundly because everything has just gone to the max. You've had fresh air, you may or may not have had sunshine, but you've had this glorious experience. Your body has been moved in a whole variety of ways, and you probably had this grin on your face going down the mountain if you love to ski. So I know when I first learned, I didn't love it so much, and so I had kind of a grimace going down the hill, and I was sort of, oh no, I'm terrified now. But anyway, I'd make it down. I'm going, whoa, I made it down. Oh, well, that wasn't so bad. And so up I'd go again. And pretty soon I got so that, wow, there's a joy in this. There's in the movement and the surroundings. And I mean, you got to love nature. There you are in the mountains, and it's pretty wonderful. So, but it's all about play. And it's interesting when we allow ourselves to play. Let's say you have a problem in front of you that you don't know how to solve. And it's been bugging you, and you've been slogging away for a long time trying to make sense of it, or work with the ideas, or put figures in a different order, and nothing's coming to you. Well, one of the solutions that I found works for me is I just stop what I'm doing and I go play with something, and I do something to engage my mind in an entirely different way, and preferably something fun. And when I do something fun, so I'll give you an example. So the other day, it finally warmed up here in Alberta, and I have this huge pile of snow on my balcony that has accumulated, and I'm thinking, oh, it must be snowman weather out there. I'll bet the snow's the right temperature to roll, and sure enough, it was. I tested it out, and out I go, all bundled up onto my balcony, and I made a snowman. And I was totally engaged, and it was such fun, and I'm laughing and giggling and patting away and rolling the snow and thinking, okay, now how am I going to decorate the snow? As I went in the house and found a toque and found a scarf and put loonies for its eyes, and I found a rubber band for its mouth, and I couldn't make it an upturned mouth somehow, and so it's kind of a grumpy old snowman. But it was such fun. And then of course I had to take a little video of it, and I took a couple of pictures and sent to friends. And I said, okay, this is what I was doing today. Well, apparently a person can play in the snow at any age. You don't need to be 2 or 5 or 15. You can be 60, 70, 80, 90. There's no age limit to playing in the snow. So I haven't made my snow angel yet, but that will come. So finding something to play. And then when you go back to the problem that you were kind of agonizing over with before, then it's as if something magically happened, and you have an idea, or something comes to you, or you see what's on the paper differently, or you see what's in front of you differently, and you go, oh, I didn't see that before. And there's your answer. And even if the answer still isn't there, at least you're fresh to come back to it. And so rather than agonizing, rather than slogging through something and making it harder and harder and harder because you can't get it, think about playing. think about trying on an entirely different approach and say, well, what if we just play with this? That's what brainstorming is, right? We're just playing with ideas amongst a group of people. And it's fascinating to watch when you just have a play environment saying, we're not going to poo-poo anybody's idea. It can be the most wild, fantastical idea that anybody could imagine. And it's so fascinating how out of those ideas, as crazy as some of them might sound, we end up with something tangible that either solves the problem or enables us to move forward in some way. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I really want to encourage you to hit the play button and hit it often, hit it daily if you can. And if you're struggling a little bit and saying, well, I don't know how to play anymore, find some kids, go to the park, get together with your grandchildren. They're intimately acquainted with how to play, and they'll help you and they'll get you involved. But it means you're going to need to, get off your butt and do it. No buts, either with 2 T's or 1 T, and play. You can do this because you are that magnificent. I really believe that when we fully engage in our playful natures, it leads us closer and closer, or it leads us closer back to the magnificence that we really are, that we just forgot about. All right. So that's your assignment for this week, is to play. If you're enjoying Tea with Sue, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. You can always find more Tea with Sue there or on my free app, The Magnificence Mentor, either one. Oh, and a little announcement. I have started recording. I mentioned last week that I was going to be doing a new video series called The Healing Call of Cancer. I have started it. I've done the introductory video. I haven't released it yet, but I'm going to do the second one. And I think this next week, I'm going to do kind of a soft launch on that. So if you're looking for that video, you simply need to go to YouTube and just search for Healing Call of Cancer, and the channel should pop up for you. Until next week, have a glorious weekend and go play. See you soon.